awesome, and it's really realistic as well. Like he's having a lot of trouble, sort of controlling his impulses,
Is
like
that Super
fighting
Sons you guys are talking about?
Superman, Action Comics,
Hmm.
and Super Sons all sort of focus on John at the
I
moment.
just like how they've gone, or Tomas has gone, I like Dragon Ball Z. I'm just going to write that. It's exactly what it is. It's literally the same dynamic. And
Well,
it's like,
that's
okay.
funny.
I haven't seen Dragon Ball Z, but I'm loving Super Sons. It's the
I,
only one I'm
I've
buying every
noticed a
issue
lot of the stuff
physically at
that
the moment.
DC's putting out, I'm liking to read a lot more in trades or just kind of like I picked up the
Yeah.
last. I wasn't liking what they were doing with the Flash up until the last arc started, so I've been reading that, and I'm going to continue reading Flash now. Like Green Arrow has surprisingly been decent, so I'm going to keep reading that. So yeah.
I
So I
just
had a
think
lot of
DC's
defense
just
back there.
sorry, yeah. I just think DC since Rebirth has begun, like they're just having sort of a great period of storytelling at the moment. Like Justice League versus Suicide Squad was so much fun. Like I can't
Oh, I
wait for the
just
next
hated
huge
how that
crossover
played
event.
out. It was like we know they're not going to fight each other. Stop, and then sure enough, they fight each other for like half
It
an
was it
issue.
was yeah, it was a stupid title, but I liked the story overall.
But Tom, you say you can't wait for the next DC event. It's already started.
Well, well, which one are you talking about?
Oh, Metal.
Oh.
Who's in that? Is that like a Teen Titans crossover with Green Arrow event?
It's Scott Snyder and Capullo, like their big summer event.
Oh,
It's
no,
it's
I've not
Batman
been-
Of
centric.
course it is.
Yeah, well, that's it then. That's a Batman centric event. I mean, like
But
a
it's still
Justice
got,
League.
it's still got all the Justice League in it because it turns into a Planet Justice
Oh.
League. It's literally Planet Hulk.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Superman is in it then.
Oh yeah, they're all in it.
Okay, I might have to pick that
It's-
one up. Then.
it's-
I
it's
didn't
spinning
realize
now.
Superman was even in it.
Like it's spinning out of like Snyder's New 52, right?
My biggest
Oh,
thing with it is
I'll
like
start reading that.
the comics I've just been reading. I'm liking the more I don't know, a little bit kind of changing stuff around. Like Black Bolt is good because it is so different. It's like, oh, well, you know what's happening here? Like he can't. Ooh,
Very Dante's.
yeah, like it's really cool. A funny story. I went to like my local comic shop to pick it up, and you know how like comic book shops receive a bunch of like promotional stuff that they can do whatever the hell with, and the dude there, like, he just like hands me this giant wrapped up piece of paper. I'm like, what the hell is this? He's like, well, we got this Inhumans poster. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do with it. There's only one person that buys Inhumans around here, so you can just have this giant poster. And I was like, oh, so it's like it's a
is
poster of
awesome.
the upcoming the Once and Future King with like Black Bolt Maximus on. Oh, it's so sweet.
Oh, that's the who's writing?
I don't know, but it's
that?
gonna be good though.
Yeah, it's someone that hasn't written for
Wait,
Marvel in
hold on,
years.
Mitch. Me and you are Marvel Inhuman fanboys, so should I just grade that a 9.5 out of 10 and move along?
Yeah, yeah. Let's
All right, good. So you heard it here first. That comic gets a 9 out of 10. Just watch when it is a 9 out of 10, though, and people could be like, yeah, you fucking said you would.
See, I'll
mean,
say that.
it's not got a bad writer and the artist on it, so it's not going to be bad.
Yeah, well, I would say that Superman's a 9 out of 10 at the moment, but maybe I am just a fanboy. But I genuinely think that since Rebirth, it's just been really solid.
I mean, the Guardians run at the minute with Dugan. I'm just sucking that off every week. Or
Is
every
that the
other
new
week.
number one that started like 3.5 weeks ago or something?
Yeah, it's on issue
Oh,
5
okay, yep,
now.
yep.
It's really fucking good. Very it's more like the DNA
Yeah.
run and less like Bendis's. Like Bendis's stuff is still there, but it's very more in line with like
When I see Bendis on something now, I'm more inclined to just abandon ship before I ever read it. I'm just like, I don't know anymore.
his Defenders run is fucking
That is too, though. Yeah, that is amazing.
like, currently really fucking
That
good.
is. Yep. So look at that. We open up this show with comic talk. People have already fucking tuned out.
Well, you guys, but I thought you guys don't read comics. If you're to believe the people on Twitter, we don't read comics.
So, once again, we are here. This is going to be a quicker episode. We have to record it late on a Wednesday because, well, one, Independence Day, and two, screaming bastard children outside. Good God, they're fucking annoying.
Well, it's summer, so what do you expect?
Stay the fucking side, play video games. Well, that's what's good for you.
I loved your comment on Facebook earlier. You said they're playing basketball. They don't even have a fucking hoop.
Hey, you don't need a hoop to play basketball, you know what I mean? You don't need anything. You just need, like, rocks to play soccer.
Yeah, because
all you
all-
need is a person to play
But
basketball.
let's be honest, the basket is kind of half of the name.
Yeah.
Not really. All you get is another person, and
it's called basketball.
yeah,
It's
but
half the.
I used to play without a basket.
How-
All you needed
how
was
do you
another
score
person,
points?
and they made like a hoop, like with their arms, and then there you go. Like,
Just
What, you
hit
mean
him in the
just
face
stand
with a
there for the whole
basketball.
game?
yeah, everybody took turn being the basket. That's like you didn't
That
have
sounds
money for
So
the.
many broken
That
noses.
sounds extremely third world.
I mean, you didn't have money for it. Nobody had like a basket, like, and then you had to go find the park or something sometimes.
You
And
must use a bin or something.
well, I didn't have a well.
This
no,
just
I guess
in,
you can
Joe
use that
actually
too.
grew up in fucking Guam, apparently.
Well, here's the
Nah,
thing. They
isn't-
had to use the bin for a makeshift swimming pool.
It's just we didn't really have a park around, so like they barely made it like not too long ago, but like as a kid they didn't have one, so like you either did that or you got you had your backpacks and you played soccer with that, or you just found some grass and played football. I don't know. You do whatever.
The closest I can think of that we might have had to that was like we had a big like circle spray painted on a high wall at one point, and like you got a point if you hit like through the ball and hit the middle of the
Yeah,
circle.
we used to have that.
See, this is one of those
That's-
conversations
with the
like,
arms,
we
like-
legit need Sean right now so he could be like, yo, let me teach you about Sean's thugonomic fucking history class. Because you know he would have some stories of how ghetto he is.
You weren't using like a regulation size like basketball, I'm guessing, because like seriously, how long would your arms have to be for the ball to go through?
Well, there's that. Plus, like, imagine being the poor guy who's having to be the hoop. Like, how do you
Yeah.
protect your face?
No, you took
Exactly,
turns.
broken noses.
No, you just took turns, and if no
get
one really
smacked
had a
in the
broken nose.
face with a
I don't
basketball.
know.
Don't be a bitch, homie. Just take it.
I mean, I don't really remember anybody getting any broken noses. So maybe somebody did get a broken nose, like with kids somewhere else. But look, that's what it wasn't like we did it for like 5 years. It was literally for maybe one summer we did it, and then you found the wreck, and then they built a park. So like when the lights go out, like the lights on your street, you're just like, oh, time to go before I get a whooping. That's Sean right there.
So, welcome to the podcast, everybody. Once again, I am your host, Armin. I'm here with Tom,
Hey,
Tristan,
guys.
Mitch, and
Hello.
Joe.
Finally, for the first time, we record on a comic book
Oh,
Wednesday,
I know.
right?
It's good stuff.
Or maybe in a long time. Maybe we recorded on a Wednesday before.
Yeah,
I don't
but-
remember.
I'll say, it hasn't been.
Only when it's been delayed by a
Yeah,
pandemic,
it hasn't been. When this podcast originally started recording, we used to do Tuesdays at 2, so it's kind of adjusted with that. Well, Eastern time anyway, or where.
Yeah, it's always been a Tuesday
Yeah.
typically.
It's, good stuff. Well, luckily, this 1 day delay has absolutely no effect on the news we were going to talk about.
Nope.
So yeah.
Well, there's the Luke Cage casting that fucks everything up slightly.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, well, what is that? We won't actually make that a full topic. But what happened?
Well-
I haven't checked.
I haven't read about this.
I
Um,
didn't even see that.
There's a character in Black Panther who's played by one actress, and she's been Nightshade. And they've seemingly cast the same character with a different actress in
God
Luke Cage.
fucking damn it, Luke Cage! Why is it this show that does it?
Didn't
I
they
thought
do
that
it
was-
for Cap and?
It was
Yeah.
Civil War and Luke Cage.
No, what was the movie? The lady who
Yeah, that was Civil War.
It
Yeah.
was a Civil
No.
War.
was it Civil War from the
Yeah.
first Cap,
Yeah, because it's the
or was that
'Cause she
Guardians?
played Black Maria, I think. Black Mariah. I can't
Yeah.
remember her name in Luke Cage season
Cheers.
1.
and she was the woman that like guilt tripped
Yeah.
Tony
Yep.
with their son.
Oh, there's that one too. Yeah, but there's another one. There's that. Yeah, I remember that one. But there's another one. I'm gonna look it up right now. It
But
was
that-
the
but
Star-Lord's
that's
mother.
literally the opposite. That's the same actress with two different roles. This is the same
Yeah.
character with two different people.
Hmm.
I mean, they did it with Thanos. Like Thanos was one thing, and he was in Civil War as one of Crossbones' like people.
Here it is. Yeah, Star-Lord's mother played a character in Captain
Yeah,
America: The
that's-
Avenger. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, that was one too. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
confusing. And you know it won't be like a reference thing either. He's playing a completely different character. So
Yeah.
it's like, God damn it, I hate it when that shit happens. This is now going to fuel all that the Netflix shows aren't part of MCU.
No, but then again, you like if it was like a different character, because like, unlike Bushmaster, who's been cast, it's not the Serpent Society Bushmaster. It's the other.
Hmm.
Can't even make that argument because they're going to have the same names. It's just like
It's not like the. Isn't there two like different versions of basically the Night Nurse character? It's
Yeah.
It's
like
about 3 of those. So, yeah.
there's 3 now. Yeah, I lost count a little while ago, but they can't really do the same thing here,
No.
which is a shame.
Well, it's. I guess if it's the best actor, then I guess do what you will. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I can't wait to see
Yeah,
Stephen
that's
Amell show up in the DCEU. He sucks.
I mean, I think he's too busy. He's doing charities and all that. He's too busy to be in the big
I mean,
movies.
if he got the phone call, I think he'd be miraculously unbusy.
I mean, I'm sure he would want to, but I love the stuff he does. It's one of those things when like anything, actors, musicians, or whatever, where they're doing like their smaller stuff, and then you're like, man, they're so good, and then when they do the bigger stuff, you're like, that's kind of like that selling out type stuff. Even though that's what they've worked hard for, like to get to the bigger stuff. But as a fan, you're like, they were better when they were like indie. And so that's being like hipster too.
TVs are the indies of the movies. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like, we could say. I mean, even though TVs are.
At least in the Mel's case, just a case if he can't act. Like, look at the turtle.
Can we not?
Yeah, he must have been disappointed by Casey.
Look, I'm probably the biggest. I'm the biggest Stephen Amell fan you'll ever find. Like, I'm pretty sure. Like, I'm not rocking like his face on my shirt though, but he's a cool guy. I just like his personality, his vibe.
Confirmed.
He's just chill.
Joe
And he
has a
does, like, all
cheese
this good
grater
stuff.
that's based on Stephen Amell's abs.
Probably. I mean,
He is pretty awesome on Facebook and Twitter, I've got to say. Like the way he comes after the haters sometimes is really hilarious and well done.
I think that's what sometimes, like, because of social media, you see the other side of these actors and whatever musicians, these celebrities, and you start to like that side more as opposed to what their job is, which is like the movies or the TV shows, the music.
True.
So, yeah,
that's why I like so many like just like crazy out there actors or like voice actors. You see them like, man, these people are great. Like just like video game voice actors like Nolan North, that dude's fucking hilarious. And you're like, oh man, he's not just Nathan Drake. I mean, he is, but way more to that too.
Yeah, you get a different side of them, and I mean, sometimes some of them don't use it, which is why I've never been a fan of Grant Gustin, because that fool doesn't use it. I don't know what he's about.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that is true.
That's
I don't know what he's about. Is he like? I mean, he's all right, I guess, in Flash. I thought Flash was the weakest one this season, but whatever. I mean,
I actually really liked the Flash this season. I liked a lot of it. Like there was some stupid stuff in the finale.
I can endure
that really
stupid
ruined a lot
shit,
of
but
what
when
saw.
I abandon shit, it's gotten bad. Like it's. Whew. Like it made me go back and watch Gotham for a couple episodes. I was like, "Ooh, Gotham!" No, what the fuck am I doing?
See, Arrow this season just blew me away. I loved the villain.
I'm waiting till like Netflix get like, oh wait, Zombie finished. I need to go watch that when it comes.
Oh, is that
Netflix.
Finished now?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Watch it.
so I'm waiting. Yeah,
I'm sure.
all these TV shows that come on.
First up, let's talk about something that's a little bit old at this point. Last week, I forgot to include it because I'm pretty sure I would have had a mental breakdown because it was like right after it broke. So Fantastic Four, it's not going to Marvel. It's not happening. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah. We all knew it was coming. We all knew this was going to happen.
Another reboot by Fox, and this time some sources out there are saying they're taking, once again, a completely new approach to this. And by that I mean, it sounds like it's going to be based on the kids of the Fantastic Four. So like Valeria and Franklin Richards.
So they can ruin it
It
for
won't
the next generation.
So, to respond to the criticism from one of the big criticisms on the last one was that all the characters were too young. So they take that criticism and do this.
Well, I mean, it's different characters. You can get away with them being young.
I mean, yeah, but making it about the kids, it's not even a Fantastic Four movie now. It's you're just getting further and further away from what people actually were kind of asking for.
I mean, Franklin Richards and Valeria, you can make a good story out of them. Fox
with no setup.
Well,
yeah, you could.
So here's my biggest issue. If I'm okay with a movie based on the kids of the two, what I'm not okay with is the fact that they haven't actually established good versions of these characters. So unless you're going to bring back Chris Evans and what the hell's her name,
yeah,
and be like,
say. Yeah,
right.
Alba, just do a sequel to the
be like,
whole
it's 15
version.
years since they've got married at the end of the second movie, and they have 10-year-old kids. I'll be like, okay, go with this. I can see it now, because at least that was the best versions of the movie characters.
They're
but
good enough.
I don't know.
I think
They're
think
not
they
the
got
best
married in the
versions we could
second
get,
one.
but they're good enough.
Yeah, I can't remember those movies, man.
I don't know. I remember the second
first
one
one
because I
holds up
think
better.
I think Chris Evans got all the powers,
Oh,
like all of
yeah.
them, like all four of
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember the second one. I went to go
He
see that in
became-
theaters.
He became Super Skrull for some reason.
Basically, I mean that would make the most perfect sense, right? Bringing back the '05 version, even though technically you can't bring back Chris Evans and all that, you can kind of allude to them, or I mean, you can just say we don't even need Johnny, right? You would just need. I mean,
But it's
he'd be
going
a
to be
cool
Johnny.
uncle.
It's going to be the thing in Johnny with Franklin and Valeria.
Oh, never mind. You can't do that. Never mind. I mean, you can always
I'll tell you
recast,
what,
right? Just have it the same
Basically
character.
Marvel 2-in-1
Just-
babysit. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Tell
You
you what,
want-
then, just make the Fantastic Four even older than you're expecting, and make it a sequel to the Roger Corman unreleased shit film.
I'd rather have the
I
sequel to
mean, you could
Like,
right,
also
just
say that
like-
Johnny got Revitalago.
I
just recast. Movies recast all the
Like,
time. Why not just recast? Have
I
it
don't
be the
get
same
why they don't
characters?
just do the smartest thing available. In the next goddamn X-Men movie, just have the X-Men like, oh no, we need to go to space. We know anybody that can build a spaceship? Yeah, there's Reed Richards. Go meet Reed. He helps them, and there you go. Just start establishing these characters in other movies for the love of God. Like they're never going to succeed on their own ever. It's not going to happen.
But if you start,
I don't
if
think they can do that. I think there's a reason why they haven't, and I don't think they can.
if you start establishing them, make Reed the Maker Reed,
Mm.
like you know what I mean, like that, like ultimately that would be awesome. I know they had hinted at it with this new version, but then the movie sucked, so it's like, what are you gonna do about that now? Look, again, I wonder what Brett Dalton is doing. I want him in a big superhero movie. I know he's done TV shows, but like Ward needs to be in a superhero
I think he can
movie.
make a good like Mr. Fantastic and give him a couple years. Like I think he could pull that off.
Him
I'd
or
rather see
Human
Johnny,
Torch?
to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because he has that. He can get that. I think he can have that like fun vibe. He seems
mean,
like a
what-
cool guy. You met him, or
Oh,
I'm
he's
pretty sure he
he's
can-
super funny,
he
so
can do
I
it.
could see that.
Yeah. So that I'm just saying, like throwing it out there. But I mean, also I wouldn't want to ruin his career with a bad movie. So that's like.
Maybe he could go over to DC and be like an older version of Nightwing or something.
I mean,
I
at
can see
least
him
if he
as
did,
decoration.
at least if he did that though, there might be a possibility of it being good, and more of a possibility than the Fantastic Four movie being good. So
I want him to be in a good movie.
Yeah, that's what I want to. But here's hoping they at least make a good movie if they do this.
They
Like,
won't. It won't happen.
oh, man, that
They're not
sucks.
going to reboot.
Let me be optimistic,
I mean,
Mitch.
What do you think? How do you know that they don't like? If there was a deal to be made, I'm pretty sure the moment any dotted line was signed, both studios would come out there, swinging their dicks, being like, "We made a partnership," just to make all headlines.
Well,
Like,
wouldn't that be part of the deal? Like, who gets to announce it?
I would assume it'd be Marvel again because they did the
That's what
Sony
happened.
thing,
Yeah. So it's I don't know. It's
It will have a stronger response if
Okay,
Marvel
so-
announces it. Because
Unless
goodwill.
somehow this San Diego Comic-Con, they come out and they announce, oh, Avengers 4 will be Annihilation, and then they bring in, fucking Fantastic Four are announced to be showing up, and they've already cast them and we just don't know, then I don't know.
what if Phase 4 just has the Fantastic Four logo?
Is our main problems with these X-Men, well, besides because Fantastic Four suck, but our main problems with the X-Men movies is that the fact that they're not like they might be okay movies because I see some people do care about them, but they're just not as like X-Men-y. Like they're practically different
Yeah.
characters, right? Is that like? Yeah, like I mean, they've been okay movies so far because clearly people do like them, but it's the fact that they're not X-Men. Like they're not really the characters they're supposed to be.
Right.
I would assume, right? I mean, I haven't seen Apocalypse, so I wouldn't know, but I have to say that every time, just so somebody could call me out one of these days, like in the
Apocalypse,
comments. And be like,
it's less about the characters in Apocalypse and just more about the fact that it's just a gigantic clusterfuck
But-
of CG.
Okay,
just
but
dust
even
and
as bad
rocks
as
and shit.
Apocalypse is, it's still at least coherent
still-
compared to the Fantastic Four movies. Like, that's so bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. About
Well,
that.
Compared to the
It's on
Josh Trank
HBO
one
then,
and Silver Surfer, compared to
No,
those two.
I don't know. I wouldn't
The
say
first-
it's coherent.
I wonder really what's like thinking about it. Is it because of how Bryan Singer made it in X-Men 2000 that they wanted to that was the herald, like that was the one that was the thing. So they wanted to keep making movies like that X-Men, not really necessarily X-Men comic-y and all that, but they wanted to make that X-Men. Is that why? Is that the problem, Ray?
partly just because that they haven't taken the opportunity to evolve naturally.
And not only that, like I feel like when you
mean,
watch the Fantastic Four, like any version of these characters, they don't understand the core of the character. And it's like you could give someone a one paragraph, like if someone asked me, what's Doctor Doom about, I give them one paragraph, they go, oh wow, that's cool, and then they go, well, why haven't they just put that in a movie? I'm like, I don't know, like I just.
Yeah, arguably the best villain in the Marvel universe. Like I don't see how they mess him up like kind of twice already.
I'll say, well, you've seen how they've done it 3 times.
3 times. Oh, I mean Roger Corman.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, no, I was counting the sequel.
Oh, I forget he's.
Well, okay, I wasn't counting that. I was counting like in actors. That's why. Yeah, but yeah, you're right. It's
bad enough that it's gotten to the point where when they reboot this, I don't want Doctor Doom to be in the first movie. Like, hold off.
He doesn't need to be. You don't need any villain in the Fantastic Four.
He can have his own movie. Let's be honest.
He can.
He really can. So honestly, look, Deadpool is gonna be like Deadpool is on a good track. They had Logan that was good. All they really need is to maybe switch it up, but I think it's because of the fact that these like Kinberg and Singer have made them money that they trust them, and I think to people who know the characters are like, yeah, they get you money, they make okay movies, but it's not really the characters. And I don't know if I guess we've been saying that it just needs a change of creators, but I doubt it'll happen soon just because made them money.
We'll see what happens with Fantastic Four in a couple years, because they got to get the movie out by like 2022. So
look, just get Matthew
Matthew Vaughn.
Vaughn?
Yeah, Matthew Vaughn. Yeah, just get him.
Matthew Vaughn, $100 million and no script, and he'll pull off something worth watching. So it's
like I know they had him on for Days of Future Past. So why don't you? Plus, he's still doing Kingsman. So like, why don't you just bring him back? Like, look, we got you, Matthew. Gave you money for your movie.
The DC movie, isn't it?
Oh, that's
I want him for Superman.
Yeah, I mean, if he's not in talks with DC anymore, bring him back. Let him do the Fantastic Four movie, and bam, there you have it.
I'd be down for that. This past week, Fox goes out there. They shake their giant money pit and just go, "Hey, look, we're announcing 6 new movies." Like essentially, they're gonna be putting out 3 movies a year. There's a lot of Fox stuff coming in the next you know what? It's coming till the next end of time, really, because these movies are all going to make money. So, what do you guys want to say? Because I think the safe bets are we're getting X-Force, we're getting another X-Men, we're getting, obviously, another Deadpool, maybe a Cable movie, New Mutant sequel. So, honestly, I only think one of these is a new IP, and out of all that, I don't think any of them are Gambit.
No. In fact, what you just listed there is exactly what I think they are. So
yeah, I don't know. I'm just confused as to what they're doing with these movies. Like, you should wait to see if New Mutants is going to be accepted by people, because sure, they accepted Deadpool, but it doesn't mean they're going to accept a movie that's about like horror mutants, and like you need to kind of wait.
I think it's different enough that people. You can kind of judge if someone's like people are going to click to it. And I think people gravitate towards it.
I could see it.
Could be wrong.
Well, aren't the rumors like?
I hope so. I want more good.
Aren't the rumors also suggesting that with X-Men, Dark Phoenix, is that the next one? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the 3 main characters from First Class trilogy all apparently signed 3 new contracts, so they're going to be in this one and the next 2. So.
Does that include Jennifer Lawrence?
Yep.
I'm amazed that she did it. They must have offered her so much.
Which is why the young X-Men are never getting spotlighted in these movies.
Yeah.
And,
no.
Is this Quicksilver going to be in it too again?
Yep. Quicksilver's back for his
Of course he is.
Yes.
He's going to have another scene that's exactly the same.
I can't believe they honestly see it fit that once an important character dies from the last couple of films, we should play the next scene as comedy. Welcome to Quicksilver.
Yeah, they literally... Yeah. I couldn't believe it in Apocalypse, how just like you kill off these characters and then it's literally just a comedy scene. Like, there's no time to sort of... There's no impact whatsoever to their deaths. If you blink, you may miss the fact that they're even gone. Yeah. You just think they've disappeared from the movie.
I'm just going to be real. I know people are going to kind of hate in the comments. I don't want any more core X-Men movies at all. Give me X-Force, give me Cable and Deadpool team up, Cable standalone, New Mutants, fucking X-23, anything. Just don't give me any more because they literally okay, they went to like the 3, gave them truckloads of money and said, you guys are the stars of the next 3 movie. And guess what? Let me tell you the twist in all 3 movies. Magneto's the bad guy.
Yeah, well, we know that again. Apparently, he's a cult leader in this one. So it's the Brotherhood again. Great. It's exactly, we've gone full circle now to the first one. So this is, I don't care.
Where are they going to go as well? Because they're in the 90s now. You'd imagine. So by the time these 3 films are done in the contract, we're back to the first X-Men movie.
Or here's what
I just think, how are they going to age McAvoy and Fassbender so it makes sense that he becomes...
They're not going to. They're passing that off as a different timeline.
It's so fucked.
But they're going to have this movie, Magneto's going to be bad, then the one afterwards will have a family that they all die, and he's bad again, then he has another family. That's all they're going to do.
I just want more families for Magneto.
That's all they do. Every time he either has a family or he's just a straight up bad guy. It's either one or the two.
A big problem running into with these that's like also kind of theirs, like we're starting to like you said, we're going back and kind of making a full circle, and fine, do whatever you will with that, but it's kind of just getting... Everybody's lapping you already. Fucking DC's already gonna lap you. And they've barely been at this for one good movie. So, like, I'm not understanding what the appeal of these core X-Men movies is. And, like, you're going forward, you have all these timelines, like you said. And I said it on Twitter, and I feel it so bad that they're gonna do it. One of these movies, you're just gonna see the X-Men break into a facility, and you're gonna see a little girl with 2 claws, and they just casually avoid her because they're like, dude, we gotta build up to the Logan. But it's like, but Logan doesn't exist. Oh, fuck it. Like, that's gonna happen.
Yeah,
probably.
She'll be there, and it won't even be the same sort of facility.
Of course
from
not.
Logan as well. It'll just be a completely unrelated origin.
Of course not. People say I'm exaggerating. Bitch, they've done that already. They did it with that's all they do.
Wolverine in Apocalypse was so bad.
That was awful.
Like, I couldn't believe Hugh Jackman actually agreed to do it.
But here's the thing: they got a set up for X-23 there because they had the Mr. Sinister stuff, and he clones people, so they can just make her again, hopefully with the same actress in that timeline. You don't have to drag her out of anywhere.
I'd be okay with that, but then oh my god, could that? Oh,
See, I just prefer the idea of Cable and Deadpool just pulling her from the end of Logan and bringing her into the new timeline.
She's somehow just born in the timeline with those guys, and Deadpool goes, no, save her from the terrible continuity, and he just yanks her out.
It's just like a post-credit scene on Deadpool 2. You just see the end of Logan, and she's walking away with the kids, and just like a portal opens, Deadpool's arm grabs her, he yoinks her through, and it's just like, you're in our universe
now.
Screams
in Spanish.
That's the start of it.
This sounds amazing. I'd rather have that, honestly, than her in the normal X-Men movies.
Yeah. But I don't think she'd work in the normal X-Men movies anyway, because she's too R-rated.
True.
She'd be great in a Deadpool movie. Just like...
Yeah.
Every time he says something she doesn't like, she just cuts off his arm or something.
He can just stick Hugh Jackman's face on hers.
And I'm not even trying to make fun of the X-Men movies, but we know next year Deadpool is going to make more than Dark Phoenix, and I wouldn't be surprised if New Mutants actually makes more profit than the X-Men movie. Like, it's not going to make more money in box office, but how much money you're going to spend making it, how much it's going to get back, it's going to be way more profitable. So,
did Apocalypse make more money than Days of Future Past?
No. I don't.
Hell no.
So why are they continuing with this franchise that is clearly
because they're afraid to take a risk with the X-Men. Honestly, I think that's really what it is.
They should just, like you say, they should just stop doing main X-Men titles at the moment until they're ready to
I feel like that because Fox is the only studio that is still stuck in the mentality of actors sell a franchise and not the characters. Remember when Avi Arad was stuck with that with Spider-Man? And it's like, dude, no. Like, that's not it at all. Like, you could put... Who's the hottest actor in Hollywood today? Like Channing Tatum, I guess. Like, people love the shit out of him.
No,
maybe 2-3 years ago.
Who the fuck is that? I don't know. I don't watch TV.
I don't know.
Probably The Rock at the minute. He's in fucking everything.
Right, so, like, I guess The Rock would be a good example. Like, we could put him in a movie, the movie might suck like all his movies recently have, besides the Fast one for critics, but he'll pull in money. But if you were to make him suddenly any other character, that character would probably get instantly popular, which is what Black Adam, if that ever happens, is going to, be saved by The Rock actually starring, so...
Which, I'm kind of glad for because I'm a fan of him and I want people to know Black Adam. Yeah, but that's just me.
I just want it to happen because The Rock hinted on Twitter, I think, that Superman's going to be in the movie. He said that he's going to be fighting Superman at some point.
That's because he'll be in the Man of Steel.
Yeah.
I feel like The Rock was like the OG one to start that whole social media, like the way the Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
No, Vin Diesel with Black Belt.
No, that's not what I meant. Like
just typing up roles. That's what I was.
No, that's not what I meant. I meant like what Stephen Amell does. Like like how the way it's used, like the social media platform is used. I feel like he was one of those OG guys who writes like a full like essay on his posts and stuff like that. Like
Probably.
I don't know.
Didn't Tyrese do something like that for Green Lantern? Like for
Well, I don't know. I'm not talking about hyping up roles. Like that's just everybody. Like.
But he went crazy for a while. Like he kept bringing it up in like interviews, completely unrelated and stuff.
That's because people kept bringing it up to him. He's like, I guess if y'all want it, like people do it just because people bring it to them.
True.
Like
I suppose he's not going to say no. I don't want to play a role in a giant
right.
movie.
Who's gonna say no? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Captain Marvel is most likely going to have a co-star who's male. Oh no, says the internet, and it's like, well, yeah, that's okay because Wonder Woman had one, and he's arguably one of the best parts of the movie, surprisingly.
Wonder Woman had like five men.
Isn't some of the rumors that Samuel L. Jackson's going to be in
that's
it?
awesome. He's great.
Yeah. I mean, it's not even that. It's just that it makes sense for the character, doesn't it?
Yeah. She's either going to be Sword or Shield. So.
Yeah, so it makes sense for like the universe and the characters. So like, I don't see a problem. Like, should it be an all-woman cast? I mean,
well, the Tumblr thinks so.
I don't know, but that's Tumblr. Who listens to things? Why do we even mention Tumblr? Like, there's no. It's like mentioning trolls. Like, what's the point of mentioning? You know what I mean? But because I never do. Like, okay, no, never mind. Fuck that. Samuel Jackson.
Can we stop a second? Joe just said fuck that. He never swears.
Well, I was gonna do a little story, but I don't care about it anymore. But I mean, it makes sense for Samuel Jackson to be in that. Plus, didn't he sign like that big movie deal? I think it's probably going to be up soon. But still,
he had 9
remember when everybody was
movies?
talking about like
that's ridiculous.
Or 9, yeah. So, yeah, I mean,
plus he was teasing this back in October or February. It's one to two.
He was.
Cool. I didn't know.
I mean, I see it fitting because if she's going to have any history with S.H.I.E.L.D., even if it's flashbacks, if he's there and like recruits her, that makes all the sense in the world. And then who the hell knows how long, he's known about her and how many other heroes and all that. So it's like, it kind of just adds this depth to it. And if it's all modern day, then it's like, all right, I'm agreeing with Nick Fury because he realizes that, hey, some of these heroes are going away and retiring. We need a new wave of heroes. Have you heard about the new Avenger initiative? Here's your paperwork. Fucking sign it. All right. I'll sign that shit. Honestly, the more I hear about Captain Marvel, the more I get excited. That's really what it's coming down to.
Yeah.
It seems like a good movie. I mean, what do you guys want out of a Captain Marvel movie? To make it, like, perfect, I guess, in your mind? Like, what do you want to see?
I don't want the Mohawk.
Sure
I don't want the Mohawk. That's just me, though. I just don't like that look.
Nah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I don't really know if I need the mask either.
That's one thing I want.
Well, because it changes it up because... Oh, no, I guess it doesn't because Thor... I mean, Cap uses a mask. Iron Man uses a mask. I was trying to say because, like, I guess in the MCU right now, most of these heroes do wear masks, but I forgot, like, no, actually most of them probably don't. So...
No, he's going to be...
Didn't the mask at one point make her hair go into the Mohawk?
Yeah, it had like...
Yeah, that'll probably happen anyway, but, like, without, like, in general, because I think sometimes she has, like, just the Mohawk as the hair, and I'm like, I don't think that.
Well, she did for a little bit. She's gone out of that now. She's now just like the short It changes every
It
issue.
does.
Well, I'm just saying.
Face it, like she's a woman, and maybe this is. I mean, maybe this is offensive to say, but women like to change their hair. Like,
Well, they do, but I'm not.
They try different styles.
I don't care what they like to do. I'm just saying I personally don't like the Mohawk look on Captain Marvel. But I mean, if she does it, it's not like I'm gonna be like, shit, I'm out of here. Like she has the Mohawk look. I'm out of this movie. Forget this. Who's gonna do that?
I mean, I'm one of the few people that legitimately I love the Mohawk look, but that's only
That's
like a
cool,
personal
like, yeah,
preference.
it looks
I think
cool,
it sets her apart from the rest of them. It's not just like, oh look, it's long blonde hair. I'm like, yeah, everybody fucking has that now, you know?
I mean,
it's like,
but that's me. That's my personal reference. I like the long blonde hair.
well, yeah,
but
me too. You know.
At the same time, giving her the mask, because I thought, like I said, I thought most of the heroes did wear masks, but I forgot most of them probably don't. Like Spider-Man, Cap, and Iron Man are the ones who do, and probably a couple others. But,
Star-Lord, he has a mask.
Yeah, but there's others who
kind
don't like.
But the thing is, like, she is going to be like a cosmic character as well. So giving her that mask.
Well, I mean, like as
It
Ms.
also
Marvel,
has
she
the
did
secret
wear masks
identity
most of the time.
You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
Like, I mean, remember when we were talking about like, wow, some of these heroes just don't have secret identities anymore. Like it's out in the open, and then Spider-Man
doesn't
comes
have-
to Daredevil. Yeah, but she
Everyone
could.
knows who
I mean,
Carol Danvers is.
yeah, but she could have it in the movie because they could always
Uh,
change stuff like that.
Yeah, but if they're going to pass her up as the strongest Avenger, you don't really need.
True.
No.
I'm just saying, like, if you want to have the mask, cool. You don't.
Honestly, like,
cool.
I see this kind of
Not the
being
movie.
a maybe, and this is just kind of me thinking of how they're going to tie it in together. That her mask is kind of going to be when she goes to space, she has a little thing behind her ear that, just like Star-Lord, it's going to materialize a mask on, and it's like, oh, that's a cool little thing.
Oh, that'd
And
be cool.
they're only probably going to use it in space. I don't think she wears it every time she's fighting, because that's one, you're getting Brie Larson, you're not going to hide her face, so you know.
It's like RDJ type of stuff, right? Like,
Yeah.
You're getting RDJ, so you're still showing away he's still showing his face, even though it's like not opening. Remember a long time ago when they said they wanted Tom Cruise and they were just gonna have like a clear helmet.
Oh god.
Like, so
I mean, it's not like with Captain Marvel's mask. You can have like an in-mask shot of their face, like close up with like a HUD display and all that.
You kind of, if you
Nah.
tweaks the mask a little bit, you possibly could.
to give her a
It
Rey
barely
Mysterio.
works with Iron Man, considering the amount of space he seems to have in that mask.
Wouldn't it be
but
awesome if there
just can't
was
imagine
like
her- unless she's
they
got
should
enough-
just piss people off and have Tony Stark give her the mask, and that's what it does. I would love the shit out of that.
and it's got a talking
I mean-
AI. That's her male voice counterpart.
Oh
throughout
my
the
God.
movie that everybody's mad about.
I don't see why it wouldn't make sense for Tony. Like Tony is like the richest and the smartest one in that like he legit can he funds the whole Avengers. Like he'll give them all the stuff they need.
Yeah, but like if say the Kree are like the antagonists of the movie,
Yeah.
you could have it like the Kree armor, so you don't need Tony for that.
Oh,
part.
true.
True.
I mean, it
That's
also
if,
goes with
that's
how
if
the
they're
movie's
going to be
be.
using the Kree part of her origin. I don't know. But.
It's still a long ways to go to see how the
Either way
movie's
they
gonna
go,
be
I
made.
think there's a lot to this movie to get excited about, and them adding a male co-star doesn't mean anything. I mean, we can't just make a movie that's all females. Like, that's not going to happen. Like, yeah, I'm like, that's not how it works.
I mean, Ghostbusters.
I'd love it. There's just a scene in modern day New York City. She's walking down the street. There's just
That's
no
what I'm
men.
saying. I feel like people want an all-female movie that's literally like not a single man exists on Earth. It's like, are you playing this for comedy or no? Because that's what it would be. You know, like what is this crap?
Is it like that The Last Man on Earth comic book where he's got the monkey on his back and it's like there's only one man left? Is that what they want? Just adapt that if that's the case.
Yeah, something like that, I guess. So yeah, Captain Marvel. We're gonna find out way more about it. I'm assuming sooner rather than later, because it's gonna start shooting like very early next year. I think like January, February.
January.
Yeah, there you go. So Atlanta. Set leaks are coming. Yay! Because they
There's
can't
always
hide
set leaks
shit
when
in
they shoot in
Atlanta,
Atlanta.
so that's awesome. It's going to be great.
I think that's why they stopped shooting like certain parts of The Walking Dead near
Yep.
cities because like as soon as season 1 was popular, there was just
Oh,
set
yeah.
leaking photos everywhere.
Totally. Let's talk about another captain, because this past week we learned that Marvel has had talks and actors have come in asking to play the Captain Britain role in the MCU. And we know last year that they were even doing like suit designs and everything for this character. So I think it's
They were doing locations.
yeah, honestly, I think it's only a matter of time until we see this. Like it's got to happen soon.
Or is it going to be the TV show still, or will it be the movie?
I hope it's a TV show. I mean,
because that's what it was before.
I don't know that I care either way, to be honest. Being British, that's probably best for me, but I don't care about Captain Britain.
Here's the thing.
No one cares.
The thing about Captain Britain that strikes me interesting and fascinating is that I don't care about him, and the little I've read, I'm like, oh, that's cool, but I still don't care. And it's that not caring that I hope they can deliver something to make me give a shit. Because let's be real, who the fuck gave a shit about Legion? And then look at that show. Like, holy hell did they pull that off. So,
in all honesty, I knew one person who really, really liked Legion as a character before. And he was really hoping for a movie or something.
Just look how well Ant-Man did. I mean, even while losing Edgar Wright as director, who was a big part of the hype.
And from what I understand is, just while talking to people casually, the reason they want Captain Britain and the reason it might just kind of go to a TV series is because all the lots that Disney has over in Britain, that they want to start utilizing some of those for TV shows. Wouldn't the first one you want to make be located exactly where you're going to shoot everything? So it's like, you feel at home, you know how people work, you already have shows shot there all the time, such as Black Mirror, so you kind of start understanding the landscape and get people that are involved in those. So honestly, I think they're probably going to do a TV series, and it wouldn't surprise me if next year we see, like, Inhuman Season 2, maybe a Captain Britain announced, because I think there is plenty of room for that character to live on, because it seems like a good fit, you know?
I'm willing to give it a chance, certainly. I've been proven wrong before. I didn't particularly care for Thor before the movies, I'll be honest.
I mean, it's a completely different show, because it's all multi-dimensional, if I'm thinking of the right character. But I'm certain Captain Britain does that multiversal stuff.
I mean, they have to deal with the little bit I know about him is, of course, the involvement with Merlin and all that. So, honestly, I think it would be kind of cool to get some flashbacks. Be like, oh no, the Legend of Merlin, that's kind of like real in the MCU. Shit, really? It's like, yeah, but now here's Captain Britain with all his power. What the fuck? Like, I think they could just enough use some of that mythology of King Arthur and stuff and tie it in there and be like, yeah, King Arthur was like an actual superhero. It's like, oh, okay, I guess. Well, sure, go with it.
It can turn out like the reason you can't find any historical record of Camelot is like there was an Infinity Gem involved.
So, like anything, like
it was hidden.
I'd be totally cool if they're like, oh no, Camelot actually exists. It's just like shrouded and only he can enter it when he's worthy. I'd be like, all right. I don't know anything.
Maybe it's like Themyscira. It's actually its own island in like the British
I'm okay with that. Like,
Like,
I just want more cool characters that I don't know anything about or that I know a little bit about. And, like, that's why I'm so excited about, like, Cloak and Dagger. Because I'm like, man, I know nothing about them because I've read, like, 10 issues. And being fair, yes, they only have, like, 25 between them. So, you know, but...
35.
Oh, wow. Oh, man. Well, I've been served, or whatever the kids say these days. I don't fucking...
Roasted.
Hey, speaking...
Oh, you got. If you want to know what the kids actually say, they say.
Oh, exposed. I've been exposed.
Like, you got exposed.
Is it still exposed? Oh my god.
Yeah, well, it used to be something else, but now it's exposed.
Now,
like, exposed is a big thing. Like, expose them.
Speaking of which, I just want to bring this up to you guys while we're talking about potential TV shows. Does anybody still remember that we're getting a Squirrel Girl and New Warriors TV show? Okay, I forgot that till this morning.
I just figured those are done.
I mean, I'm still remembering that comedy TV show that's supposed to be a sitcom about what's the people's names?
Damage
the
Control?
Group that's like construction people.
Damage Control.
Yeah, that's what they were. I still remember that.
It's still happening.
Yeah. So Captain Britain, give us that TV series because I think that'd be awesome. Because I don't know anything about him, so that sounds great.
And I'll get all the pictures because it's where he's from is where I live.
All right. Mitch, go audition.
Fuck that.
Now, when we talk about the Venom movie, the first thing I think of is this should be a comedy film. Right?
Yeah.
What the fuck is happening?
Like, are they just saying whatever just to get people to go and watch it?
I think they're just saying whatever to make every headline possible to make you remember that this movie's still happening, honestly. Like,
I honestly think Pascal's had a stroke. There's no other reason for this.
She still seems to think that Zombieland is like the most popular comedy film in the world or something, because the way she talks about it is like, I don't think Zombieland's held up the way that people think it has.
Oh, it has. Zombieland.
It's good, but it's...
I still think it's a hilarious movie. I didn't see it that long ago, but it's been a while.
I watched a couple of weeks back.
I mean, look how badly, though, the pilot for the Amazon series did, and that was written by the writers of Zombieland.
Yeah, but they messed up at their time, so it's like, it probably shouldn't have been a TV show in the first place.
I don't know, the pilot was okay.
Well, to be fair, Zombieland is like one of those lightning in the bottle type movies that...
Yeah.
My big issue with this is like...
I don't see how they...
Well, here's the thing. Even if this is like, let's say it's quote-unquote comedy in a way that an MCU movie is perceived as a comedy, I guess, to some people, the moment you toss someone whose suit is running red and he's a maniacal murderer who's fighting this other crazy-looking beast that also kills people, where's the comedy coming in? Like, it...
I mean, there are some dark humor comedy.
Dark humor, yeah. I mean, that's exactly what I was thinking.
But the only way I can see this working is if Carnage is played by Robert Englund and he just does it as Freddy Krueger and he's just like cracking wise and shit and calling like Venom a bitch.
That would be kind of cool.
That's kind of Carnage anyway. Yeah.
That's something I want now. Robert Englund,
Freddy Krueger as Carnage would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, but I doubt we'll get it now.
But like, when you hear Venom, do you think of comedy? That's the question.
No.
Not really. Well, for me anyway, it's what was it, the Spider-Man game from was it Neversoft, where he had Venom say Spider-Wuss all the time.
Well, for me, when I hear Venom, I think Spider-Man. So the fact they're not going to have him, they've already fucked that up.
Yeah,
you
know,
that's
true.
Yeah, I think Spider-Man animated series.
But they're in the same reality, though.
What the fuck does that even mean?
But he's here, but he's not here. He's here, but he's not here.
Yeah.
Like, she just turned into Trevor from Iron Man.
Just remember the MCU is canon to this film, but this film isn't canon to the MCU.
Oh,
it's not the same, but it's the same.
Confusing. Yeah.
Okay, can anybody vouch for Tom Hardy as a comedic actor? Can he do comedy?
I don't remember seeing him in the comedy stuff.
We'll know if he can do comedy soon enough because he's signed on to a Josh Trank movie, so that's bound to be hilarious.
Let me check. I'm curious.
Josh Trank announced it on Twitter.
I don't know if it was intentionally funny a legend, but I laughed at him.
I laughed at him, so he must have been.
Like the way he says "cunt" was hilarious.
Oh. Yeah, he says "cunt" brilliantly.
That's funny.
Yeah, I don't see like anything that seems like
he's funny in real life. Like, remember that story where he chased down that guy who stole a moped?
Yeah.
First words on the scene the witness said was, "I got the cunt."
Good old Tom Hardy. I don't know. I have a hard time believing we're gonna get a comedy Venom film. I mean, if you want a comedy Venom film, just replay Spider-Man 3. Like, what the fuck more do you need?
Yeah,
they even got the guy from that 70s show.
That was a terrible movie, and there's your comedy. Like, you don't need anything else. Like, sure as fuck shouldn't fuck up Tom Hardy. Like, I don't... Sony is just literally confusing the living hell out of me. I don't understand what they're talking about, and I don't understand any of the messaging. I struggle to understand any single thing they're saying in regards to this stupid movie.
Yeah. Like, the thing is that at this point, it could be the best movie they've ever made. No one's going to give a shit.
Yeah. But it does seem like it's the same thing that's going on over at Fox, where they are literally just throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks, and they're not going to wait and see what's popular.
At least
and
Fox is kind of
like
just
going ahead.
Like, Fox is still kind of right.
Fox at least had some good ideas,
Let New Mutants just make it a horror movie. Fine, like, that's cool. It fits to the Demon Bear stuff. Like Cable, that works. Like, they have some inkling of what to do.
See, that's what's missing with Sony, is they just don't have an idea. They're just sort of, we own these characters, announce the movie and hire some screenwriters and see what they
From what we know is apparently they've set a date and everything, but they don't even really have the entire film figured out. So...
It's not going to happen. None of these movies are. I'm sticking by that. You're
sticking by they pull them out last moment, like that you're sticking by that?
Yeah.
Yeah, just wait for the directors to drop out.
I don't know. It's just it makes me confused. It makes me concerned because being realistic and looking at it realistically, if Venom fails as a solo film, there is no way Marvel can even come to their rescue and salvage them in the MCU because it's like, nah, dude, it's been damaged too many times. We can't do that again. Which is exactly why Marvel is giving us all these new characters in the MCU, because they know they can't be like, we're going to do, like Green Goblin again. It's like, no, there's some bad blood with that shit.
Yeah.
No, like, you can't touch that.
See, you're right.
They
All
did
it's doing
say
is preventing
recently,
Marvel from doing it properly.
they did say recently that they are open to actually using like characters that have been in previous
That's
movies.
true.
So Oscorp will probably be.
You'd have to assume that. Like, Oscorp can't go not appearing in something Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's Sony just weirds me the hell out. I don't think they know what they're doing. Positive they don't know what they're doing, actually. I don't even need to, like, no one needs to. Like,
It seems like Amy Pascal has greenlit a load of stuff and then just done a runner.
It's probably Tom Rothman, to be honest.
Maybe.
He's busy painting the walls.
Pascal seems to be the one talking about it.
He's painting walls, eating paint chips, just coming up with fucking ideas. That's
Unless they're being really fucking clever, and he's like, right, I'm going to tell you what I think we should do. Let's get what people think about it, and then we do the opposite.
He's not that smart.
But I doubt that's the case.
Oh, I don't. This whole Venom scenario, just every time they speak about it, and anytime anybody mentions it, it has a different tone. It's such a different, like, I don't even know how to talk about it. It feels like nobody knows what's happening with it, and I think that's because nobody actually does know what's happening with it. I think they maybe have an idea for a script, but it's like 12% of an idea, right? Like, they don't have a fucking entire thing.
Well, I think so. They should have a script because it's been like 15 years since they've said that. Have something.
Oh.
See, I wonder if they'll cast Woody Harrelson as Eddie Brock.
Be fine with that.
Just like cast everyone from Zombieland. Bill Murray is J. Jonah Jameson.
What's his name?
That would probably be perfect.
I can see that, to be honest.
What's that annoying parrot's name from the fucking Rio movies? And he's in the stupid Lex Luthor. He should be Cletus Cassidy.
Yes,
Yeah, they should cast him as Cletus Cassidy just to fuck everything up even more.
You can ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, you know what? I'll actually pay to see that shit. I will legit pay to see that right now.
His performance, like at the end, would certainly make sense for Cletus Cassidy since he's insane.
This actually sounds pretty good.
The dinging would just a scene in a warehouse, and he's just like, you can hear Carnage coming because it just keeps saying ding, 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 and it's echoing around the room and surround sound theater. Like, that would be terrifying.
This sounds pretty damn good. Can we actually have this instead? I would actually pay to see this. Oh, fucking Sony and shit and their stupid ass movies. I don't know.
If you can hear the dinging, he's watching you. If you can't hear the dinging, you're already
Here's
dead.
the thing. If by, like, San Diego Comic-Con, we don't have a clear picture of what these movies are, I'm pretty sure they're not going to happen. Like, there's no fucking way this shit happens.
At this point, there's probably some really cool concept art being drawn, and that's about it.
Probably not with Sony. I mean,
even Amazing Spider-Man 2, the concept art was pretty awesome.
Yeah, but look at the Rhino we got. Someone thought of that. Someone thought that was a good idea.
Well, there were other designs for Rhino, though. That's just the one that was sort of signed off on. Like,
yeah, but still,
whether it was the studio or Mark Webb.
Yeah.
Like, not only did someone have to draw that, someone had to sign up.
Yeah, someone fucked up on that major. Like, bad. This weekend, officially, Spider-Man Homecoming is out worldwide. It's been a long time coming. I think it's easy to say this is one of the most highly anticipated MCU movies among fans ever. Like, it's fucking Spider-Man, guys. You know, it's finally happening, and it's tracking rather low compared to what people expect a Marvel MCU movie, specifically Spider-Man, to track. And I think there's a lot that goes into this, and I think one is franchise fatigue is a major part of Spider-Man now.
Really?
Sony's marketing for this has been terrible.
But like, isn't it like projected at like 120 mil?
I've seen optimistically people are saying 100, and Sony themselves is only saying 80. I know, right? Like, I'm like, there's no way it does 80. Like, that's low as hell. Like, Amazing Spider-Man 1 did it better than that. That's not possible you're going to go that low.
Like, if they thought that's what it was going to be, they wouldn't have made the movie. There's no way. Like, it's going to be over 100.
You would have to imagine it has to be. Like, well, I mean, that's why we're here talking about the predictions and everything. It's going to have a big weekend. I think they're afraid of saying it's going to be higher just due to that investors. Because remember, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 made a ton of money. Unfortunately, that movie, what's written in the books, is cost about $400 million to put out. And there was still money that's not accounted for with it that was kind of being used out like, oh, Spidey's going to be on top of the ball dropping on New Year's Eve. That apparently cost alone like $35 million to Sony. So that movie, by the time it came out, the money it made back, it never made money back. So this movie, I think they're looking at it being like, well, we can't tell our investors this movie's going to make $800 million and then to make $600 in its entire run, and we go, oh fuck, like that's a failed thing again. So I think they're just trying to cover their own bases, you know.
Plus, you know, TASM 2 opened up to 91 million.
Yeah.
So is Robert Downey Jr. worth like another 30 on top of it?
I mean, we're gonna find out.
Well, see,
I mean, there's a lot of goodwill behind the movie as well because people loved him in Civil War. So I can't see it doing less than 100. To be honest, like if I had to predict, I'd say 110.
I posted this on fucking Twitter the other day. I go to my house, like my parents' house, and I walk through the door, and behold, my dad is watching Civil War, and for the first time ever, my mom is sitting on the couch watching it with him, and I'm just like, what the fuck is even happening? And she's like, oh, this is pretty good. I mean, it's the first Marvel movie I've ever seen, and it's kind of harder to follow, but I get what's happening. I was like, and remind you, my mom still thinks every game console is a goddamn Nintendo. Like, she has no idea about any of this. So
that's just mums in general.
She doesn't know anything about comics. She still thinks, like, a comic book is like those little strips in the newspaper. Like, she has no idea any of this culture. Like, she's 100% tuned out of it, so it's...
Oh, I've made sure to teach them. Like, I've shown them how good. Like when I get a top tier comic, it's like something drawn by Alex Ross or something, like painted. I'm like, this is
legit. My mom has never seen like any of the Alien movies, and that's literally like what my dad like. My dad is with Alien franchise like we are with comic books, and like she's never seen a single one, so she like completely tunes that shit out because she hates it. And like, I was like, how the hell are you watching this? She's like, oh, I don't know. I was like, what do you think of Spider-Man? She's like, pretty good. I was like, okay, interesting. I'm not bringing you to watch the movie because you're not going to like it, but, you know, who knows? I think there's something with the MCU that's bringing even more people in than what we think, and I think they're honestly lowballing this movie. Like, it's got to do more than fucking, like, 90, right? Like, it has to.
Yeah.
I don't know, so... I guess let's get into those predictions. What do you guys think it's going to make? Tom, what do you think?
110, 115, somewhere around that. I've got some confidence in it.
110.
Actual number, though.
Well, all right, 112.
Right in the middle. Perfect. Joe, what do you have?
I mean, I'm just going to go... I was going to go 85, but I'll give it, since it's Spider-Man, 95.
95. All right. Tristan, what do you got?
105.
Oh, damn, that's where I was gonna go. Son of a bitch. Mitch, what do you got?
I'll continue my trend of going high. I'll say 120.
Damn.
Yeah. Then what did you have?
I'm straight up just going 100, like right at 100. I don't.
I guess I'm leaning more towards that. This is how many movies of Spider-Man?
5.
Yeah, so I guess I'm leaning more towards that of like people will probably love this movie, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to make the most money.
What did BVS make in its opening?
164, 164, 65.
Yeah.
And how many Batman movies was that?
It's true, but I don't know. There's something about like Spider-Man that's a little different. I think it's because it's so close that. People liked Dark Knight Rises, even though we didn't, and not everybody liked TASM 2, similar like we did. So we didn't. Like I don't know. There's something about Spider-Man that seemed like it's been going lower every time. Look, I mean, if I get it wrong, my life's not ruined. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
I'll be glad if Spider-Man gets over 95 million, because that means you probably make another one.
Rotten Tomato, I think that's going to be just like with Wonder Woman. I think it's a reassurance. Oh my God, this is a good one. And if you forget, the last 2 ones, they didn't have a fresh stamp on all those posters and marketing like this one is. But we all know it's going to drop to 84%. So
no, it's really no. Let's be honest.
I don't necessarily like that. Really. I don't like that all these movies are banging on. Oh, it's this on Rotten Tomatoes. Like I don't think I like that.
That's what they're doing with all the marketing now.
It's people that are banking on it.
Well, you see in the marketing now that most of the superhero movies they got such and such on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I don't.
Which is literally no different to having like the teaser or the trailer after the movie's come out have like splash reviews all over it. It's
5 stars, says the guy.
See, I don't know, because I get the whole review thing, but because that's like actual people, and then Rotten Tomatoes is just a website that generates all that. Even though it has reviews on there that make up that number, I'd rather have like people 4 stars and stuff like that.
Well, what's the difference between 4 stars and 85%?
You know what it is? I think it's
thing.
because the common person now has grown so accustomed to one brand. You know, it's kind of like, it's Marvel. Well, I'll trust and I'll go watch fucking Iron Fist, even if people say it's shit, because it has that Marvel brand. I think people have now unified under Rotten Tomatoes as an official certification of quality. And whether you agree with that or not, and I certainly fucking don't, like, you know, it's what it is, and I think it's perception.
Look, I'm not saying they shouldn't have jobs. Like Rotten Tomatoes, it's been there for a long time. It should be there, however long it should last. I'm just saying, I feel like they shouldn't just be plastering it, I guess, in movies. It just feels weird. It might just be just because it might have been recent that they started it. I don't really remember when the first one was.
It's in the last year or two they've been doing.
Yeah, maybe it's because it's new and I'll eventually get over it, but I don't know. I don't like it that much. It's just feels weird.
I just don't see how it's different to like 5 stars. And like if you go on like the cinema's website and it's got the movie with 4 stars, where did that 4 stars come from?
I guess
Rotten Tomatoes, you know where it's coming from because it's just aggregating everything into one. The system might not be perfect, but it's still the same thing.
I guess like if it says what's a Hollywood Reporter gives Spider-Man 4 stars, and I think it's better than 4 stars, I'll go to Hollywood Reporter and be like, shit, it's better than 4 stars.
I think it could be the whole thing.
And I think it's just. I was gonna say for Joe, I think it's just because it's new. You're having a hard time.
It is probably that. There's just something about it that's weird. I'll eventually get over it.
Also,
who cares? But
like, if I go back and look at some of this, I think there was a big problem with when they used to use those splash reviews with a movie like Batman v Superman. Because remember when people went back and fact check all those tweets, and a bunch of them were just made
I don't
up.
like
Like,
that either.
I think they want to avoid that again. And I think studios now have to put that Rotten Tomatoes in there because it's like official, quote unquote, right? It's like, oh, this isn't a lie anymore. You know, it's.
I mean, it was dumb that they were faking tweets in the first place.
I'd rather have tweets than Rotten Tomatoes, but either way, I hate both of them. Like, can't you just go back to like whatever you had?
The thing is, the tweets are a sign of a bad movie.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, sure, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know, there's something about like just getting random people's like reaction about it. But those are probably most of them were fake. But if they got real reactions, that would be cool. Like that.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
The funniest part was when somebody who like they credited a quote to this guy's Twitter, and then like the guy who actually owned that Twitter account, who had never posted before, just posted a single status: "I did not enjoy Batman versus Superman."
Yeah.
Well, see, and it's like you can't be doing the whole. You gotta like proof check them and all that, so you're not getting like fake people's tweets and stuff like that. Because it's a fun idea getting regular people's reactions to the movies and stuff like that. But at the same time, there's faults to everything they do, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but I still hate both.
They were just looking to credit what they thought were dead accounts on Twitter with praising the movie, and then when it turned out some of those accounts weren't dead, it just really came back to.
Well, they were dead, but they just logged in after.
They logged in especially to say they did not enjoy the movie.
I guess to me, like, it would be a fun thing. Movies probably would, like, marketing teams probably wouldn't do this because it doesn't necessarily help to the idea of marketing it, but it would be fun. It was just that they just get like the weird tweets, like not like, oh, it was amazing, blah blah blah. Like oh, Spider-Man was so good, it made me do this and that, like stuff like that. I don't know. It's just a weird fun tweet, but I doubt they would do it because it doesn't necessarily give off like, oh, you should go watch it. It's just weird. Like,
yeah, it's weird, and I think now in our culture, people need something like a Rotten Tomatoes because they want that simplicity, right? It's all about simplicity.
They do. They want them iPhones. I hate them.
It might not even be simplicity. It's just they want a numerical value, and then like people can understand what a numerical value is. That's why you always get the what would you rate it out of 10.
Yep.
It's
That's
like,
stupid. What if I just liked it or not liked
but
it?
people
you know
don't accept that anymore because everybody wants the goddamn number, and it's a problem. Like that's a huge problem, you know.
No, I feel like it's been kind of dying down the number. Like the number thing has always been a big thing. The people are still doing it. People probably still kind of care, but I feel like it's still slowly dying the number thing.
Well, that's why the Rotten Tomatoes thing has kicked off because
now they're back at it too.
Yes, not everyone really understands what that percentage means because the actual score is closer to the poster.
That's just how many people liked it, right?
Yeah,
kind of basically. Yeah.
I mean, like the only thing about the numerical thing that gets on my nerves is when they go, "Oh, this is a 8.3." I'm like, "What makes it an 8.3?"
Oh, like the end was 8 point something. So.
No, because then the thing I hate about numerical values is like nobody ever gives anything a 1 through 4 or something like that. Then what's the point of doing numbers? Right. You know what I mean? There's nobody ever gives 1 through 4. Like one of these days, the movie's got to get a 1. Like I said, Fantastic Four probably gets a 1 just because they showed up on set.
I think I gave BBS
Fantastic, definitely.
Like they just showed up on set. That's why they get a 1. But I don't know. It's just stupid.
So
more news.
That is it for this week's podcast. Put out a semi-longer show over an hour, so people should be pleased with that. And we're recording it a day later, so there we go.
Yeah. If you're still recording, I completely forgot to mention Tom Carter's Kickstarter seems to be going well. So people who checked it out after listening to last week's podcast have donated. Big thank you. And hopefully he's going to be on next week's pod.
How long has the recording been going for?
Like an hour or so.
Yeah. This D23 is next week.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Comic-Con in like 2 weeks.
Fuck.
Damn.
Yeah.
Isn't San Diego Comic-Con in like 2 weeks or something? Like.
Yeah.
Shit.
It's close.
Live show.
Hype. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. We'll catch you guys next week for actually 2 podcasts because we're gonna have the spoiler cast and a normal show. So stay tuned.